He looks like he owns Croydon. Oh my gosh. Man like Arthur from Batman.
Namaste, dzień dobry, assalamu alaikum, ciao, konnichiwa, bonjour, hola, ciao, privet, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Ken at 10. How are you? Hope you're well. Here in Norbury, Southwest 16, which if you don't know is between Streatham to the north, Croydon to the south. Perfect place to be for a commuter. Zone 3, easy access, good value. What more do you want? Come see us. Hope you're well. Today in Norbury, the sun is out and everything is looking good. Apart from yesterday, of course, which if you follow the news, you'll know we predicted it for a while and it happened. Interest rates have gone up again. 0.25 of 1%, a quarter of 1%, or 25 basis points, as they say. Not great news if you're on a variable rate mortgage or you've got any kind of borrowings that aren't fixed, they're going up. Not financial advice, but pretty obvious, isn't it? Having said that, if you're on a fixed rate, lucky you. Hope it doesn't end anytime soon. We're hopeful that this could be the top of the interest rate cycle. There could be another 0.25. My gut feeling is there probably won't be. They're talking already about food inflation having peaked. The reason food inflation is important is because it's one of the measures they use in general inflation. And while inflation is running so high, the idea is that you continue to increase interest rates until they're at a point where demand is starting to slope downwards because people are struggling. And I know a lot of people are struggling, right? What's this done to rents? Well, rents are through the roof. They're absolutely crazy mad, continuing to be so because, of course, landlords' costs, especially where they have variable rate mortgages, have rocketed. Some have gone from as little as 1% to as much as 8 or 9% on a variable rate. And this has meant huge increases in their mortgage costs, which they're knocking on to tenants in many circumstances because it's the only way that they can break even. I'm not saying in it by any means that you should necessarily cry for landlords. Many are making good profits out of this, but some are really struggling. And what this has led to is them selling. And that's led to more exacerbation in the rental market, less supply, and then that drives prices even further. I know it's crazy out there. Some families are even looking to combine in order to reduce the burden. And there are so many people out there that were advertising properties and literally same day, there's so many inquiries that were withdrawing that property on the same day that we started to advertise it. It's absolutely bananas and bonkers, isn't it? Fridays. It's Friday, 12th of May. What do we love about Friday? Best day of the week. Why? Well, first of all, the anticipation of weekend. Fantastic, isn't it? The weekend's nearly here. We've got that to look forward to. Traditionally, it's payday for many as well, isn't it? A Friday. It's when all the workers used to get paid. So, you know, the day when they can celebrate in the evening and then look forward to a full weekend of fun. Short week this week as well, which is nice. But the main reason I like it, as many of you will know, is Saturday is the big day for us here in estate agency. Why is it big? Well, it's big because people, generally speaking, view on a Saturday. So our job on a Friday is to make sure that if they're thinking of viewing houses in Norbury, SW16 or surrounding, then we're calling them, having those discussions with them ahead of our competitors and making sure that we understand their requirements and making sure that they see any stock we have available which might suit their needs, meaning that we're getting greater exposure for our vendor clients, our selling clients on those properties because we're working on all the existing people that are out there. How do we know who they are? Well, they probably already viewed through us. They've often registered with us from the likes of Zoopla and Rightmove. And people think that just by being on Zoopla and Rightmove, that's it. That's all you need to do. But you don't. Why? Because unless that inquiry is dealt with effectively, it means nothing. There are many agents that aren't reacting to the inquiries that are coming through the web and therefore not having these discussions with people. And when I say these discussions, what I mean by that is it's not a mudslinging exercise. Nobody's going to buy a house just because it happens to be in their price range. It doesn't work like that. You need to understand what they want, why they want it, and have a picture in your head that is the same as the picture in their head, more or less. And if you've got that, you've got a better chance of selling them their ideal home. And if you find that on those discussions, and we often do, that their expectations are over their budget, then you've got to be honest and tell them, not in a patronizing way, but just be honest and say, look, you know, I'm sorry, but in that price range in this area, you're going to find a 2-bedroom, not a 3-bedroom, or perhaps you won't find a detached, but you will find a semi. And those discussions are critical because if you can find out why they want to move, then you know how to sell them something. And what I mean by that is the which means that argument. You know, it's the old one where if somebody's looking for a detached house because, you know, they make a lot of noise and they currently got neighbors that don't like the fact that they play the drums, then all of a sudden looking at a house for them and just saying, oh, here's one in your price range and it's terraced, it ain't going to work. Worse than that, they're not going to trust you or even pick up the phone to you when you call next. So you need to build trust, and you build trust by not talking, but listening and understanding what people want, asking open questions. How long have you been looking? What's the best one you've seen? Get a picture in our heads that they've got in their heads, and it gives us a much better chance of advising them properly on whether our area is the right area for them and whether they can buy what they need to buy within their budget in this area. And that's so important. It's a detail often missed. Too many times I see agents talking to people and saying, look, come and see this one. It's in your price range. Well, that's not really selling, is it? That's just telling them that a property's in their price range. What's selling them is saying, come and see this one, because then little Johnny can play his drums all day and all night because it's detached and they're never going to hear you. Now the client's seeing their son in that bedroom playing the drums and not actually impacting on anyone else. They see the benefit, they see the reason, they're motivated, they'll view through you. And that's where we want to get to. And we get there by good discussion and good agency work. And that's what we do. So if you're thinking of selling, you're on the market with another agent at the moment, it's not quite working out. Another thing worth pointing out and bearing in mind is that if you're with an existing agent, once you've gone through the existing new property period, you'll no longer appear as new with that agent for the duration of the time you're on the market. If you change agents, then you can appear as a new instruction. And that can be a really powerful tool, especially where you're changing marketing strategy or changing agents. We can talk to you more about that if you're thinking making that move. Do give me a call through. Always happy to chat that through. Number here is 0208 679 8601, or drop me an email, ken@jamesalexander.com. So hope you have a fantastic weekend. Thanks for watching, as always. Just in the process of developing the podcast, which we'll drop in shortly. Have a fantastic weekend. Look after yourselves, and if you can, your family and friends. Ciao.